Increasing your FTP is like the Holy Grail. It's like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. People searching for ways to push their FTP up. What is FTP? Well, fundamentally, your functional threshold power is the number you're going to use to create your training zones. That's it. However else you use your fitness, that's down to you and your own goals. But pushing up your FTP will mean that all your other energy systems have a greater tolerance to lactic acid. Sounds good. That's going to mean you go further, higher, faster. So I'm going to go through 5 workouts that you can use that will push up your FTP. Right, before we start, health disclaimer. Working at your FTP is hard. It takes time. There is no shortcut, there is no hack, and you can't buy FTP power, okay? It just don't happen. You got to do the hard yards. So let's kick off with workout number 1. Now, a lot of coaches and a lot of training apps will drive you towards what we call the classic 2x20. 20 minutes is roughly the time that you spent doing your FTP test. Yes, remember it? Oh, how can I forget, Scott? I hated it. No, you loved it. You're starting to generate that positive energy into the pain. We'll talk about that in another video. Now, the problem with the 2x20 to start with for a lot of riders is it's too much. It's too intense to start with, and there's not many other places to go after that, so you have to repeat that workout. That's okay if you're a seasoned racer and you know exactly where you're going, but if you need to have high levels of moderation in your training plan and you like varying, don't start with 220. What you need to do is go back a stage. Yes, go back in time. Go back before you've evolved to that, and you do what's called an in-betweener workout. Ha ha ha. What's an in-betweener workout, I hear you say? Well, these are workouts that are based around acclimatization, fiber recruitment, basically increasing the tolerance levels that your muscles already have. So in the in-betweener workout, what you've got to do is expose the body to slightly longer workouts than you've previously been used to, but nowhere near the 20 minutes. But use 2 energy systems. Yeah. I like to use sub-threshold and threshold. So we may have a block like 3 minutes at sub-threshold, into 2 minutes at threshold, back into 3 minutes at sub-threshold. That's an 8-minute block. Switch off for 3 minutes to 5 minutes, repeat it, do it again. We may do 4 of them in a workout. And what that's doing is it's only giving you 4 times 2 minutes at threshold, so it's only 8 minutes. But wrapped around at sub-threshold and being able to drop back down to sub-threshold, what you're doing is you're gently introducing that higher level of lactic acid into your system without cooking yourself. How many of these workouts? I would suggest no more than around 4. Maybe spread them over 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. Allow your body to adjust. You'll make more progress. I can't sprint. Oh, workout number 2. I'm going to work towards the 2x20, but we're going to do it in a staggered way. So we take the 2x20, that's 40 minutes. Hey, I was good at maths at school. Okay, 40 minutes. So let's start with 2x10. Let's repeat that over 3 weeks. 2x10 in week 1, 2x10 in week 2, 2x10 in week 3. Sounds easy. I need more, Scott. I know you need more. Here's what we're going to do. In week 2, you do the 2x10 plus. You take that 20 minutes and you make it into 30 minutes. So you do 3x10. So you do 2 workouts in week 2. Week 3, you're going to do 3 workouts. You do the 2x10, the 3x10 gives you the 30, and then you do a 4x10. You take it all the way up to 40 minutes. So that is 6 workouts over 3 weeks at FTP. Then you switch off. Now, what you've then got is you've got a pattern. You've repeated the 3x10 3 times. You've got data that you can analyse. What was your heart rate like? How did you feel? Did you give it an RPE scale? How did that workout go for you? You've got 2 of them at 3x10. So you can compare them. And then on that 3rd week, you've got 3 workouts and that 3rd one at 4x10. What happened? at the 40 minutes. You've got a great consolidating base to work from. The following week, you don't do FTP workouts, no, you rest. Workout number 3, you do what I term FTP surge efforts. Now these are not over and under efforts. Over and under is a little bit of a false fallacy because your FTP, remember, has a range anywhere between 15 watts above and 15 watts below for many people. So working above that number and calling it an over and under, it's a little bit false because you're falling within that FTP range. 95 to 105% is FTP of that one number. And I say that because remember, if you use a 20-minute FTP test and subtract 5%, that 5% is just a global number. It's like throwing a dart in a dartboard. What I mean is, the 5% rule we know is very generalised, and it could be as little as 2% for some people, but all the way to about 12% for some people we need to remove. Little tip, do a 20-minute FTP test and then 10 days later, ride for 1 hour as hard as you can. Look at the two numbers and see what the difference is. Hey, it's not rocket science, is it? So what we're going to do is ride at that FTP range, up 95 to 105 for 1 minute. Then you're going to drop down to 3 minutes at zone 3, sub-threshold, sweet spot. And you control and you steady at that tempo effort. Then you go for 1 minute again, then back down to 3 minutes. Ideally, we want to get that block to 20 minutes. So that would be 5 of those 4-minute blocks. But you may start with 3 or 4 and build up to the 20 minutes. Take a 5 to 10 minute rest, then do it again. They're hard workouts, but they're wonderfully powerful, getting you used to the 20-minute period and spiking and dropping the heart rate so that your body gets used to the higher levels of lactic acid and then flushes it out. Remember, it's your body's ability to recover from that stimulus through the absorption that makes you faster. Workout number 4 are VO2 max efforts. That's not FTP, Scott. It is, because by allowing the body to work above FTP, you increase its ability to tolerate the higher levels of lactic acid. And more importantly, you are able to maximize your usage of oxygen. Remember, VO2 max is about what we can do with the oxygen that's incoming. At the end of the day, oxygen plus glycogen gives us the energy. We've got to maximize that equation. So, I would suggest that you jump into 30 seconds, full gas, minimum VO2 pushing right through, and we're only going to have 30 seconds recovery to start with. And I would get you to aim for at least 5 of them in your first block. 5 times 30 seconds, hard. 30 seconds off, go again. Off, go again. Once you've done 5, have at least 5 to 10 minutes recovery, then do another block. And really start to smash and finish with decreasing power rather than increasing power. Think of it like emptying the well that's filling up with water. The more water you get out, the bigger the refill. Stimulus versus absorption. I would advise you to work through increasing the number of intervals rather than trying to find more power in each of the 5. Build it up to 6, 8, 10. Then once you've got to 10, start to take some time off the recovery. Maybe drop it to 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Get it all the way down to 15 seconds off. Workout number 5 is going back to your base training. But base training, Scott, is just for the winter. Base training is a never-ending story. What we're going to do now is we're going to use anaerobic capacity. What's that? I just want you thinking about cell energy. There's 5 seconds of it. That's it. 5 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip that 5 seconds out of the legs super fast. Sprinting. I can't sprint. You can empty the legs of fuel. And what we're going to do is we're going to do them and then we're going to have 15 seconds recovery. So we're actually repeating every 20 seconds. We use 15 seconds because it's just enough to start trickling back in the oxygen debt that you've just spent. I would aim to start with these with maybe 3, 4, or getting them up to 5. And then you want to have a 10, 15, 20 minute back at zone 2, spinning away. So this is a really good workout for the winter if you're building up your zone 2 because the intensity of the sprints keeps you warm. And you can also do them into different sections of road. So maybe you want to sprint out of a corner. Maybe you want to sprint going down a hill, up a hill, into the base of a hill. There's lots of opportunities to work on your skill, because remember, no matter how hard you train the physical components of your body, you've got to get more efficient on the bike. Your bike handling, your pedaling, they all make you quicker. Hey, that's 5 great workouts for you. And remember, if you haven't done a lot of FTP work before, start with the in-betweeners. They can really help and give you that confidence that you can achieve great things. Hey, make sure you subscribe. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, I may even put a kilt on for a video or put subtitles. Remember, anyone can train hard, but there's only a few of us can train smart. You stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. What's my FTP? 260. Weight 63 kilograms. Age 50. Height 5'10". What are we on, a dating app here? Cut. Let's move on.